Are you guys ready to hear the secret? Did you figure out the clue that I gave you in the last episode? I hope you did, but if you didn't, don't worry. But we will still be taking a look at the episode, The Secret Box. Just add it. Like, I asked Patrick permission to look inside, he wouldn't give it to me, so this is all we get from him. But, as I stated just a few seconds ago, we will still be going into the review of it. And for those of you who are new, I have 7 categories I make observations on. Each category is worth 10 points initially, but they can get extra credit and negative credit. And the 7 categories are how long the episode took to make me laugh. For each 30 seconds that pass by where I don't laugh, I will take a point away. I know that seems kind of strict, but this is classic Spongebob I'm reviewing, so I have to hold it on a very high pedestal. Number 2, how many times did I laugh during the episode? And this is where extra credit starts to come in, because if I laugh, say, 50 times in an episode, then I will give that category a 50 out of 10, and that's already 5 categories worth of perfect scores, and so that could really save an episode. So, yes, extra credit could come in there. It can also come in the memorability, which is how many quotes, moments, and jokes I remember off the top of my head. And they are in no particular order, it's just whichever quotes, moments, and jokes come to me one after the other. Number 4, is there a good message that's executed well? Pretty self-explanatory. 5, is there character development or moments that make a character multi-dimensional? Also pretty self-explanatory. Number 6, does the episode stay consistently entertaining throughout? Bad payoffs, slow starts, or middles that drag on, I will take points away for. Number 7, does it misuse a character and only has them in there to take punishment or make us laugh due to their misery? Plankton and Squidward are prime examples of classic SpongeBob for that. And so, I have my notes out here, and I always start out with memorability first. And the number 1 moment I remembered was, no one can know the truth, not even Squidward's house. Yeah, you know, that's just classic, it's funny. Number 2, my secret TV and my secret TV channel. And then it's like that multi-colored screen you'll see sometimes, or at least in the old days you would see sometimes. It was just a continual beep. Yeah, that. Number 3 is the best friend forever ring, and its ringtone. You know, it's the best friends forever, ding. Number 4 is Patrick threatening to end their friendship if SpongeBob tries to sneak a peek at the box again. Just, you know, just like, listen up, SpongeBob's secret still pants. Although I'm not sure, but I think that's what Plankton called SpongeBob in his debut episode when SpongeBob was about to be forced to drop the Krabby Patty into that machine. I think that's what Plankton called him, was SpongeBob's secret stealer pants. I'll have to check. I'll probably do that episode next week just to check. But yeah, so that is my number 4 pick is, you know, listen up, SpongeBob's secret stealer pants. If you try this again, we won't be friends anymore. And, you know, coincidentally enough, number 5 is SpongeBob trying to steal the box when Patrick is distracted. You know, just like, I'm constantly on the lookout. And then he's like, and then he walks into Patrick. Number 6 is Patrick pulling the string to reveal an embarrassing snapshot of SpongeBob at the Christmas party. You know, just like, it's an embarrassing picture of SpongeBob at the Christmas party. Merry Christmas, SpongeBob. Number SpongeBob. No, I mean, I just read SpongeBob off the note. No. Number 7 is SpongeBob breaking into Patrick's house and trying to be quiet, only to accidentally making so much noise. So, you know, just the boom, 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 you know, that type of thing. And then number 8 is after SpongeBob has made so much noise that would wake an army up, Patrick is still asleep, and SpongeBob's like, gee, Patrick sure is a heavy sleeper. Who said that? Yes, that's just a pretty funny scene. Number 9 is Patrick, thinking SpongeBob is the clam boglo, and threatens him with a pillow fight. You know, the hand over my secret box, bandit, and prepare for the most intense pillow fight of your life. Number 10 is SpongeBob trying to hand Patrick his net at the beginning, but Patrick refuses because he needs to put his box away first. Number 11 is after Patrick has, you know, done the deed, he's like, "That's it! We're not friends anymore!" And SpongeBob's like, "Really?" And Patrick's like, "Nah, you can look inside it if you really want to." Number 12 is SpongeBob discovering that it's just a string or rope inside the box. Number 13 is SpongeBob asking Gary if breaking into Patrick's house is a good idea, and Gary is like, "Meow, no." So yeah, that is my number 13th moment, and that is all I could remember off the top of my head. So that, as a result, the number 3 category, memorability, gets a 13 out of 10. Good enough. Now on number 1. How much time did it take for me to laugh? It was 28 seconds in, but that still hasn't hit the 30-second mark. It is a 10 out of 10 as a result, and the first thing that made me laugh was SpongeBob trying to look in the box, but Patrick stops him. I don't know why it made me laugh. It just did, and as a result, I will stay true to my criteria and give it a 10 out of 10. Number 2, how many times did the episode make me laugh? It made me laugh 28 times overall, so it gets a 28 out of 10. Number 4, is there a good message that's executed well? There was a message, and it's respect other people's secrets, but it's not executed well, because even after Patrick's all, "That's it, we're not friends anymore," and SpongeBob's like, "Really?" And Patrick's like, "Nah, you can take a look if you really want to." It's like, okay, so that's like you're saying there's not really any consequences if you intrude on other people's secrets. So I am going to have to give number 4 0 out of 10 as a result. It's a good thing about all this extra credit so far, huh? Number 5, is there character development or moments that make a character multi-dimensional? Not really, so that also gets 0 out of 10. Number 6, does the episode stay consistently entertaining throughout? And the opening was kind of dragged on for a bit, but there was still a few laughs here and there in it. And then the middle was pretty good, and the ending was pretty good. But I just want to focus on the beginning real fast, because did you guys ever notice that the beginning of the episode, from the moment SpongeBob approaches Patrick to, "Oh, hey, this is my secret box, you can't look inside it," to the point where Patrick is like, "Look, if you don't cut this out, we won't be friends anymore," and then SpongeBob promises him that he won't do it again. That took like 6 minutes worth of screen time, if I remember correctly. It just took so much time of the episode. It was crazy. And excuse me. Yeah, it just took so much time of the episode, and that's what caused it to drag on, even if there were some laughs here and there. So as a result, I'm going to give number 6 a 6 out of 10. And finally, does it misuse a character and only has them in there to take a punishment or make us laugh due to their misery? And no. Well, this was basically another episode meant for laughs, even if it did drag on a bit at the beginning. So that gets a 10 out of 10. So, the total points out of 70 after my calculations is a 67 out of 10. After you do the calculations, that comes out to a 95.7%. And that is a solid 8. And if you'd like to see it, there you go. So, yeah, like, my biggest critique, like I said, is that the opening scene just went on for way too long. It's not like this is a movie, guys, and I'm probably going to do the SpongeBob movie as the grand finale to this series. I don't know if I stated that yet. But, yeah, this isn't a movie. This isn't the SpongeBob movie. It's not a movie. It's just an episode. And you guys took like 5 to 6 minutes to get to the point of this episode. Patrick has a secret box. SpongeBob wants to look inside it. Patrick doesn't let him, and SpongeBob's curiosity gets the better of him. Like that's all. All of that. Everything I just said, like I said in like 10 seconds, and the creators had this go for like 6 minutes straight, and then we get into the second half of the episode, which is like comedic gold for the most part. So that is my like only critique of the episode, but it's still fun to watch. It is an A. It's still managed to get an A despite the lackluster beginning. And so I will now give my rankings so far, and I will do percentages as well as the rankings, from my least favorite to my favorite. And I've done 9 episodes out of 108 so far, and number 9, my least favorite episode so far, is As Seen on TV, and that has a 60%. And like I said in that episode, like, I don't hate that episode. I like it. I reference it sometimes. It's funny. It's just, compared to the rest of classic SpongeBob, it's kind of lackluster. So that is my number 9 episode so far. Number 8 is Culture Shock at 81.4%, and like I said in that episode, like that just goes to show the difference between As Seen on TV and basically the rest of the series for me, because the jump from As Seen on TV 60% to Culture Shock's 81.4% is 21.4%. It's that big of a jump between my second least favorite to my least favorite, at least in the current standings. So that's nothing against Culture Shock at all. Number 7 is Life of Crime, and as I said with Culture Shock, that's not, I'm not trying to take pot shots at it. Like, I still found it as a very funny and entertaining episode. Like, it's very referenceable, if that's even a word. Very memorable. We'll go with that. Very memorable. And it stands at an 84.2%. And so moving on, we have Texas at number 6. And Texas is at a 90%. And yes, even though this is number 6 on my list, it's still, like, if you haven't seen the rest of this series, Texas was my number 1 pick out of the first 3 episodes I did. So it still has a solid place on my list. Number 5 is The Secret Box. Slow beginning, but it was still a pretty decent episode for what it's worth, and it stands at a 95.7%. And now we get into the top 4 out of 9, and my number 4 is Squirrel Jokes, which is at a 97.1%. So, as you can see, like, even A pluses or A's, even though I rank and grade them pretty highly, like, percentages are the main thing that will decide where an episode places on my list. But it's still really good, especially compared to the top 3 on my list, because between Squirrel Jokes, which is at a 97.1%, we have Frozen April, which is at a 137%. Like, the percentages got really weird eventually, but I figured they would, because, with all the points I give to some categories, I figured they would. But yeah, so I'm not taking anything away from Squirrel Jokes. It's number 4 on my list. I still love it, and like, that's just where I stand on the matter. Number 3, Fools in April, as I said before, 137%. It was just, it was pretty funny. I mean, I would hope it was. It was an April Fool's Day episode. So it does stand at 137%. I think that's fair compared to all the other episodes I've watched so far. And now, like, if you saw the first episode I did today, which was episode 6, it was Crabbo. And after I did my calculations for this, I was actually pretty shocked, because I thought it would be kind of tough for any episode to stand a chance against Pranks-A-Lot, which was at my number 1 last week, and I gave a 148% to. And believe it or not, Crabbo, it didn't overcome Pranks-A-Lot, but it did. It gave it a fair shot, like nothing to tone a cold shoulder to, because Crabbo is at a 141.42% compared to Pranks-A-Lot's 148%. It came that close, percentage-wise, to overthrowing Pranks-A-Lot, when I thought Pranks-A-Lot was going to be king of the mountain for weeks on end, probably. And even though it still is king of the mountain, it still shows just how great this series is, the quality of the series is, in terms of comedy. That it just 1 week later, and one episode in particular, already managed to almost rival Pranks-A-Lot. So yeah, with that being said, my number 1 is Pranks-A-Lot, 148%. It is the king of the mountain at this moment, at least in my eyes, but that might change next week. And as I said, I think it was in this video or the last one I did, I'm going to do Plankton, his debut episode, which was just called Plankton, next week, as I wanted to compare and see if he really did call SpongeBob Secret Stealer. Yeah, it was this episode. If he really did call SpongeBob Secret Stealer, just like Patrick did in this episode. Like, I just want to, see if that's legit. So, I will be back next week with 3 more episodes, one of which will be Plankton. I wonder how that episode is going to affect Category 7. So have a good week, everyone. I will see you in therapy.